The time has finally come. Voice artists, please introduce yourselves and your characters.
Hey there, my name is Lucy, and I voice Sparrow Rain in One Last Adventure. I'm just kidding, it's the other way around. Anyways, back to Lucy. Apparently she's like this tomboy, spitfire, spitball kind of character, and she's like a magic user, which is really rare in this universe. So she has like this little gun thing that she infuses magic bullets into, and they go pew pew a hell of a lot better because of it. So yeah. Oh, also I do the music for this game. So the soundtrack is gonna be fire. Anyway, I think that's all I'm supposed to say. So back to you in the studio, buddy.
Hi, my name is Jordan King, also known as Kingdom Ace, and I'm the voice of Xylon. Xylon's a roughly 150-year-old elf, which are this world's stand-in for African Americans during the early 1900s. He's sort of the father or big brother figure of the group. He's definitely the glue that holds them all together. He's definitely the most level-headed of the three, though, that's for sure. With a calm and hard-to-read exterior, but far from uncaring, he's actually quite compassionate and patient with others. After being freed, given limited options, he opted to pursue becoming an adventurer. After all, what else is adventuring if not the freedom to forge your own path? Xylon uses a custom double-barrel bolt-action shotgun, ensuring that if something gets too close to him, or those he cares about, it won't be close for long.
Heyo, my name is Justice Margowski, aka Mild Hot Sauce, and I am the voice of Loux. Loux is a goblin, this world's stand-in for Native Americans. He struggles with a dark past, which he overcomes with some help from his friends. Adjusting to a new lifestyle, if still a bit bitter at the world, he's developed a somewhat snide sense of humor, using that to help both cope with the world as well as navigate his relationships, with perhaps a dash of pushing a personal issue or two to the side where he doesn't have to deal with it. Luke's weapon of choice is a submachine gun, with a rapid fire as quick as his wit, allowing him to control a crowd before things get too out of hand.
Alright, so this is all both very relieving and very terrifying. Relieving because it's finally out there and I can show you guys things. Terrifying because now I've just made it real and attached people of note to this project publicly, and I can't really put that cat back in the bag. So let's waste no time! What have I been up to? While I was on vacation about a year ago, I got to thinking, and I realized that while the trailer is a great launching point for selling the story, it doesn't really have anything in the way of showing what actually playing the game will be like. That is to say, the way that I'm doing the trailer is more of like a movie trailer. Basically, while the trailer is meant to hook potential players, it won't actually show any gameplay. So I decided that a demo was in order, and just a side note, story-wise, the demo takes place before the trailer. It's a bit confusing, but that's just kind of how things shook out. For the demo, I tried thinking of a problem that would take place a little closer to civilization. I mean, I'm making a 1930s fantasy that is a hike in the woods. It's one of the few reasons I'm thinking of doing a sequel. One of those reasons is because as a player, I would want to see this 1930s fantasy world, but that just doesn't fit in the story that I want to tell. So I thought, what could be a problem that they could tackle where I could just show off the world just a little bit? Well, what if you had lightning cores feeding off electricity from a power plant? That would be pretty sick! So right off the bat, I need a few things. First, a scenario where that would happen. Secondly, I need assets. To my knowledge, there aren't really any lightning sprites in the RTP, nor are there any power generator steam turbines. So, to sand! Also, given that Part 2 of this series covers the first year of development, it would stand to reason that you guys haven't met my lead scripter. So everybody, meet Master 2015 HP. How did I meet them? Well, before I left on vacation, I was struggling with an aspect of the tutorial that I needed help with. I asked for another person's help. They left me on red for a month, and now I'm not going to go into that rant again. You can watch week 5 in the unlisted videos if you want to go into that. Regardless, it cleared that that scripter wasn't going to work out, and that is when I reached out to Master 2015 HP. And may I just say that they are an absolute rock star. Just glancing over the history, they fixed the problem I was having with skipping turns during the tutorial to make it function properly. They added a movement system to Harley Quinn's tactic plugin so that accounts for any unused movement that you have. They made it easier with a variety of sound issues, including having just hurt efforts put into the game easier. And they made it so that you can't shoot through solid objects, or more importantly, your teammates. Because gun safety is important. But seriously, no, if they're amazing. If Sand is the VIP of my graphics, Master 2015 HP is the VIP of my scripting. It was probably also around this time that I reached out to various people to voice the main three, as I thought that I was much closer to releasing this demo than I actually was. At the time, I was looking for notable people who would also fit the characters well. Me being nobody important, this was easier said than done because it was kind of like a shoot your shot in the dark and see what comes back sort of thing. And given both the budget and my status as nobody important, this is understandable that a lot of people didn't get back to me. Xylon had a pretty short list, if only for the fact that I had a very limited amount of black influencers in my purview of awareness. If I recall, I reached out to Swoozy, Jordan Howlett, I think I reached out to National Geographic and Brian Muller, but don't quote me on that. Regardless, I happen to be a Kingdom Ace fan, my aunt is a huge Kingdom Ace fan, and I was nothing less than ecstatic to hear back from them. Lucy had a whole nother issue in that there were just way more people that I had in mind to play her, though I was met with kind of the same amount of non-replies, which, again, is fair. Among them, I tried getting a hold of Jaden Animation, Rebecca Parham, Monarch would have been a good fit, but given that she's an actual voice actress, my wallet could never. There was Sugar, just a whole lot of people who didn't get back to me. Until Sparrow did. And now, I wouldn't want anyone else to play that role, honestly. She's not only really stepped up to the plate as Lucy in her own way, but she also is the game's music composer. And she's just been an absolute blast to chat with besides. She is 100% the kind of person you can just hang with, and she is the free spirit that Lucy has to boot. And Loux! Oh boy, was that a roller coaster. As limited as my awareness was for candidates for Xylon, I could not think of a single Native American influencer on my radar. And it was very important to me that Xylon was voiced by someone who was African American, and that Loux was voiced by someone who was Native American. It was important to me that these two were voiced by someone that represented their IRL culture counterparts, both for representational purposes as well as to keep me based. I mean, I'm making a game based in the 1930s timeline. There are certain things that I ought to make sure that they're accurately reflected, while also making sure I don't cross a line or get caught up in my own ignorance. I did end up finding a Native American YouTuber, but after some time and shenanigans, just communication issues, just a whole slew of things, it was clear that this person and I were not going to work out. So I got to thinking it over, and it became a lot less important to me that Loux be voiced by an influencer, and more important that he be voiced by someone who could voice him authentically and could educate me, again, to make sure that I'm representing things properly and not crossing any lines. So, I put a feeler out on Casting Call Club, and that is how I met Mild Hot Sauce. And let me just say, wow. When I heard the lines from him, it breathed new life into Loux. I knew sort of what I wanted to do with Loux, but I had no idea how to write him. As soon as I heard Justice as Loux, I knew exactly what Loux is all about. Also, honorable mention of Leslie, the guild manager.
Hi, my name is Cola Luna, and I am the voice of Leslie. Leslie runs the adventuring guild that the main three work at. Leslie is androgynous presenting and uses Z, Zay, Zem way ahead of Zer time. Not so much as an identity statement, but more as a political statement. Z uses Zer appearance as a way to fight for equality and against the gender stereotypes of that time.
Leslie was very specifically supposed to be voiced by Chipflake in my head, but he turned me down on account of him very specifically trying not to sound androgynous, and for that I deeply apologize. In retrospect, it was a bit insensitive of me. And one last honorable mention, it's a small part, but I did get my buddy Static Crowbar to voice the power plant manager in the demo.
Hello, my name is Static Crowbar, and I sound like an old man in this game.
Moving on from voice actors, I scripted out the lines I would need for the demo, and with Sans assets, I get to work on making the 3 maps I would need, as well as a few other odds and ends I needed graphically. I mean, how else is Lucy gonna get up out of this chair? Or how is this piano gonna play by itself? Or, oh my lord, the inventing this all took. Between making things interact with each other, getting the timing right, editing the voice actor clips, adding the clips into the game, which I'm still working on by the way, and just the sound effects in general, boy, there's a lot going on with these events. While I was focusing on the trailer and demo of the game, one thing that just has been hovering over my head for the past, probably since I started this project, is trees. Trees are going to be the main thing you're looking at, and when it comes to forests, the RTP is woefully lacking in the tree department. So I commissioned 20 trees from sand. Speaking of things I've been worried about for a while, I touched on explorability being a big obstacle that I will need to overcome in part 1. One thing that I thought of is the tired and true treasure chest. However, I have a couple issues that I'm running into with this. And maybe the first one's just me, right? Like, plenty of RPGs have treasure chests, a hallmark of RPGs, but like, who puts them there? Like, who do these belong to? What poor man is getting a divorce because I looted all of his stuff and the chest was just all they had left? Why are these chests here? The second problem I ran into is, what do I even put into these chests? Weapons? Well, no, I'm not making equipment swapping as part of the game. That takes out the armor as well. So, potions, I guess? How long have these potions been sitting here? What's the expiration time on a potion? The more I thought about it, the more I thought I wouldn't be opposed to like secondary weapons. I think like a throwing knife or cherry bomb type thing. Not that I would leave a cherry bomb in the chest in the middle of the woods. Who would do that? Who leaves these things? Who leaves these chests laying around? Anyway, that's a really roundabout way of saying if you play the demo when it comes out, look in these trucks here. They just might have something that'll give you a hand and help you out. So, what's left in the demo? I have a handful of lines that I still need to put back in the game, like I said, and I need to get what faces that I still need to my new face pixel artist. I also need to work with Sparrow on doing the soundtrack, which I honestly don't know how long that's gonna take, but I do know that I don't want to rush her. That all being said, it has been a while, so keeping in mind that this thing is missing a few elements and this is still very much a work in progress, and the music that you're about to hear in this clip is not gonna be the final product. I've just lifted it from YouTube's audio library. Why don't I just treat you all to a little sneak peek preview of the first scene?
And there's the turn. What are we thinking, Loux?
Come off it, Loux. You're not gonna get anything from him.
Au contraire, my friend. I have him exactly where I want him. 150.
I'm telling you, man, he is baiting you.
You willing to bet on that, Loux?
I would, but you're not gonna have anything left to bet with the way things are going.
You in, Lucy?
No, I fold.
Sounds like, if anything, he's in your head.
Nah, I'm just playing this smart.
How about it, Xylon?
All in.
Whoa!
What?
I tried to warn ya, but y'all are too smart for me, I suppose.
Ugh. You... Call.
What in the world do you two have?
Better poker faces. Swell.
I'll hit the breaker. It's not the breaker. Power's out.
That's not fair. How am I supposed to see your tells like this?
You can't see them with the lights on.
Aha! So they are bluffing.
I never said that.
Help! Lightning core's got in the power plant. They're siphoning off the generators.
Crap! Okay, someone grab the induction ammunition. These things are mostly energy, so normal ammo won't do anything to them.
I'm on it.
Lucy, remember not to infuse your bullets. You could not only fry the inductors, but you could very well also end up giving the lightning core some of the fire's energy, healing them a bit.
Noted.
Is there anyone left in the power plant?
No, I think everyone evacuated.
Good. Leslie, do you have any insulated armor we could borrow?
Yes, but you're dealing with lightning cores at a power plant. I suspect they will only do so much. Better take some potions with you too.
Got it. All right, let's get geared up and head out.
Zai. I'm waiting for your signal. I won't call for help unless you come back and tell me. If you think it's too much for you three to handle, get out of there.
I understand. You can trust me.
While they're gearing up, let's discuss fees. This way, please.
Ooh, what was that thing between Xylon and Leslie about? And more to the point, how long will you have to wait to find out? Looking back, I planned on making this game in a year. A year has passed, and I really need to make a demo, and we're almost entering the 3rd year of development of this game. I'm constantly trying to learn from others, and recently, Indigo Park has kind of caught my attention for multiple reasons. Unique Geese brought up the reason that they went for a chapter release formula, and the more I'm being brutally honest with myself, the more I'm thinking I'm one person orchestrating all of this in whatever limited free time that I have. So I'm doing my best to replicate Lixian, but I have a major obstacle that, to my knowledge, Lixian doesn't have, and that is a real job. I mean, I know he had to work to get to that point where he could live off being an editor, but I'm not there yet where I can just develop a good game in the amount of time that I would deem acceptable. So, yeah, the more I'm thinking about it, the more I think that it just makes sense to release this game in 3 chapters. The chapters being the days that it takes to make this journey. Until then, I have everything else in that life update video that I made a few weeks ago, so if you excuse me, I'm off to do the 50 other things I should be doing, and until then, I will see you guys in the next video. Chill, ladies.